This video is a supplement to 4.8 about a complete factor analysis. We're going to use SAS to run a factor analysis. I went ahead and input the data just to save time. The first 11 lines of this code, so from here to here, all the way to the first run, are what's called the SAS data statement. And the first line we have chosen just to name the data set SC data. And then the next line we look, input indicates the identity and sequential order of each of the 4 variables being entered. A $sign is there to indicate that is a text or a label rather than quantitative data. You notice each line ends with a semicolon. You have to add a semicolon at the end of each statement in SAS. Otherwise, you'll get a coding error. The instructions data lines indicates that the input that follows will be successive rows of data until they are terminated by another semicolon, which we did here, and we did run. Now, the last 4 lines here of code constitute the actual SAS procedure, in this case proc factor, as I show here. The first line calls that procedure, indicates the data set to be analyzed, calls for a correlation matrix to be included in an output, sets the number of the factors. So we have correlation matrix, sets the number of factors, which we have as 2, and the rotation as a varimax rotation. var stands for variables, and we have verbal, math, and logic. And then we're going to entitle this principal components method factor analysis of simplest case data set. And then we want to run that. So what we can do is hit our running man here, and out pops our output window. And in the output, we're going to get a correlation matrix, which, if we move to the top here, we see a correlation matrix. We're also going to get eigenvalues, which we have here. And we're going to get communalities, which are at the bottom here. But the most important are the factor loadings, and that's what we're looking at, which do equate to what we calculated in video 4.8 that this is a supplement to. So this is the table of central interest, and the other one is our rotated factor pattern with our factor loadings after we have rotated this. And so they do look like what we have calculated before. That's a very simple demonstration of how you do factor analysis using SAS.